Well, Afia, thank you for joining me. It's deeply appreciated. We know that NFL flag is growing all across this world, especially with young girls. But before we get on to that, could you tell me a little bit about what your role is and what you do on a day-by-day basis?
Sure. So I head up our youth community and grassroots department at the NFL. So a big part of my role here is helping to grow the sport across the UK, helping to offer young people opportunities to play NFL flag and growing our programs here. So we have a huge schools program, which is aimed at both male and female participants getting to try the sport, getting to engage with the sport and kind of learn from involvement in playing NFL flag. But we now also have a huge focus on our girls' inclusion and helping to kind of close that gap in participation between male and female athletes.
I think a fantastic thing about flag football in particular, we've got so many sports that have been long embedded into the UK culture, whether it be football, boxing, cricket, and they're seen stereotypically as men's sports. But with NFL flag coming in, it's so new, there isn't any preconceived ideas, and it's allowing girls to flourish in a sport that they love playing.
Absolutely. It really is. I think, with it being a brand new sport, it allows female athletes and young girls and women to engage in the sport in a whole different way. There's a number of different skill sets that's required to play the sport, which means it makes it really inclusive that, girls can find that thing that they're good at and engage in the sport in that way, which is really exciting, and I think the uniqueness of NFL flag and what that can offer just really helps kind of young people off the field as well as on the field, that they can find a safe space where they can work and meet and make friends with other girls, and it's just a positive environment for them to be part of.
Absolutely. And the main thing to talk about today, I mean, the sport is growing so much in general. Henry told me the other week about all the charity initiatives that are running through Manchester and Birmingham and London. But more recently, the New York Jets and the Chicago Bears have announced an exciting new all-girls flag league. And can you break that down for me and how important an initiative this is?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a really exciting initiative for us. So it's the first ever girls flag football school league that we've ever had in the UK. And I think that just speaks volumes about the interest that there is here in the UK and the need also for different sports and for different ways for girls to engage. So, the Jets and Bears are huge with girls' participation over in the States. They have many different programs with female athletes engaging, and they're very supportive of female inclusion. So for them to be able to come to the UK, offer their kind of knowledge and skill set around female inclusion and be able to bring something that's meaningful for girls to participate is really special. And it's something that those teams are really committed to. They really want to make a difference and help girls participate in NFL flag. So it's really exciting to be offering that opportunity. And, we saw the launch last week of the program. All the schools involved were really excited and the girls were really engaged. So I think it just shows, what a bright future this sport has for females in the UK.
Absolutely. I know it's broke down into two conferences, 6 teams playing in each. And then at the end of this whole thing, they're going to meet in a massive championship event.
Exactly. Yeah, the girls are going to have time to play in their own leagues, get used to the game, enjoy playing against each other, and then there's going to be that championship to find the winner from the Jets and the Bears. So very exciting, a nice kind of element of competition at the end of kind of what's going to be a really fun and engaging couple of weeks for the girls.
And most importantly, they're going to be tutored by exceptional NFL flag coaches who have vast experience in developing players, and it's going to give these girls a wonderful opportunity.
Yeah, it really will. Even our coaches are excited to be part of this program and to help launch this girls flag initiative, and what they can bring to this and the kind of coaching and guidance that they can give the girls is going to help them have, an amazing time and develop within the game as well.
I mean, looking at the statistics in Illinois and in New York, we've seen monumental growth in the sport. And while it's still growing over here in the UK, do you think over the coming decades we're going to see it reach the sort of levels that it is reaching in New York and in Illinois?
Yeah, I think, you know, girls' participation in the US isn't that far ahead of us. It's definitely something in recent years that has been pushed over in the States to get that kind of female inclusion and offer girls the opportunity to play. So I think, you know, we've seen huge uptakes in the US, and now things are starting to move in the UK and the rest of the world, and we see that girls are equally as interested. So I think, you know, a couple of years down the line, there's no reason why the participation we see in the US that we won't be catching up to that here in the UK as well.
And with women at the forefront of sports right now, we're seeing it growing in the UFC, in football or soccer, as they call it in the States, with the US women's team doing so well. The sport's evolving at a rapid rate over here. And I know that you had a massive event for International Women's Day. So could you talk me through that?
Yes, we did, and that was the launch of our Jets and Bears League, and it was, you know, really special to use a day like International Women's Day where we're highlighting, you know, not just women's inclusion in sport, but many different factors. But for us to use that to kind of have a celebration of females participating in the game, and to use it as a celebration for the girls that are going to take part in this league. You know, it was a really great kickoff event for the girls to get an insight into the sport, try the sport. We had a discussion panel with a number of different kind of female and male athletes from the Jets and the Bears as well, talking about, you know, the opportunities in flag. And I think that really inspired the girls to you know, want to take part in the sport and want to you know, do the best they can to engage in sport and enjoy it as much as they can. So yeah, that was a really exciting launch for us. And like I said, the girls got to try the sport, they got a taster of what's to come, and I think it just helped build that excitement for the upcoming league as well. So yeah, it was an absolutely fantastic launch, and Jets and the Bears you know, really put on a great experience for the participants ahead of the program.
Talking about those panelists and the people who were there to highlight what an amazing initiative this is, were there any in particular whose stories you stood out and thought they did a fantastic job of promoting this?
Yeah, you know, I think all the panelists that were really, you know, interesting and had really fantastic stories to tell. You know, we had a fairly even split of male and female athletes on the panel, and I think you saw from the females that we had that, you know, they've been really successful in their sport in their own ways. That, you know, either through coaching, through playing, or just as advocates for the sport. And I think, you know, there was not one person across the panel that didn't have an inspiring story to tell. And I think one of the things that was great about that is that everyone in that audience, all the girls in that audience, had someone that they could relate to on that panel, and someone that they could look up to, and you know, hopefully that inspired them to believe they can do whatever they want in sport. So it was, you know, really special for those girls that, you know, you can see a variety of people that have been successful and that advocate for women's sport.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there, where you see that these young girls from such a young age are seeing what the sport can do for people. I mean, you, for example, right now, from a working perspective, you're out in Tampa, I think you said before we start this interview. So it's done amazing for you. So how proud are you of how far the sport's come and your involvement in it?
It's fantastic to see how far the sport's come. You know, I got involved 13 years ago when there really wasn't any women's league here in the UK, and to see how it's grown and to see that drive on female participation, and to see how many girls are now playing, and these new initiatives that are coming in that are going to change the future of the sport for women is just so exciting. And, you know, seeing that years ago, the opportunities that were on offer for me were very minimal in the sport, but in the next couple of years, those opportunities are growing and growing, and women can really have amazing opportunities in with careers in this sport. And, you know, we now see just a few years ago that women can get scholarships to play flag in the US now. So there's a real, you know, opportunity for them to get an education and to grow within the sport and find a career in a sport that they love playing. So, you know, I can't speak more highly of how special that it is to be able to see girls get these opportunities now.
I completely agree. It's an amazing story with everything that's going on, and I can't wait to see how this league goes with the New York Jets and with the Chicago Bears. But I've been absolutely privileged to talk to you today, Afia. It's been fantastic from my side. I'm sure it'll enlighten young girls from around the world. But before I let you go, is there anything that you would like to add that I perhaps haven't asked you about?
Um, I think, I would just add that, any girls that might see this or are listening to this, or women that want to get involved in sport, even if, they've missed opportunities in the past, like it's never too late to get involved. And I think, this sport now, it's growing for all age groups of women. And if you have the chance to give it a go, whether it's for a bit of fun and to stay fit and to spend time with your friends, or whether you want to take it to a more competitive level, I definitely think, give it a go. Just pick up a football, have some fun, and see if you enjoy it, because I think there's a real opportunity here for women to get involved on a number of different levels.